In this video, we will walk through the basic setup of Open-AudIT, showing how to discover devices, manage them, set up alerts, and create reports. An important function of Open-AudIT is discoveries. Discoveries are pre-prepared data items that enable you to run a discovery upon a network in a single click, without entering the details of that network each and every time. To create a discovery, you simply click on the Discover dropdown found in the top navigation bar. Then click on the Discoveries button, third from the top. This takes us to the Discovery screen, where for initial users of the software we'll discover two predefined discoveries. For this demonstration, I will be creating a new discovery. To do this, click on the Create button. On this screen, we need to populate a few fields. First, we will give the discovery a name. Next, we will choose the type. The type is important as this defines the devices that we are targeting. We have three options in this dropdown: subnet, device seed, and Active Directory. For this demonstration, we are going to choose subnet. A subnet can be defined as an actual subnet, for example 192.168.88.0/24, a range, for example 192.168.88.12 to 15, or a single device, for example 192.168.88.1. I will insert this now. We then choose the discovery option type. More information about these are found further down on this screen. For this demonstration, I will choose ultra fast. We then set the assignment of these devices and choose submit. As a prerequisite to get the best results, it is always recommended to use credentials before executing the discovery. These can be configured in the Discover Credentials dropdown. We allow Windows, SSH username and password, SNMP v1, v2, and v3, and SSH keys. This only needs to be set once. When a discovery runs, Open-AudIT tests all credentials against those devices which are discovered, so there is no need to repeat the choosing of which credential to use or credential detail. We now have our discovery screen. From here, we can begin the discovery by pressing the Execute button. Whilst this discovery runs, we can see on the summary the IPs of which are responding, scanned, and audited. We also have a Logs tab, which logs every piece of detail that this discovery is doing and finding. Some other key aspects of this view are the All IPs, Devices, and Issues tab. All IPs gives us a view of all IP addresses and points out those that are found. Devices shows us the exact devices that it has discovered and added to the database. Issues, if applicable, outlines any issues with a device, for example, an incorrect or unknown or unmatchable credentials. The discovery has now completed, and we can see it has discovered a router successfully. Although we are running a manual discovery in this example, Open-AudIT has a powerful automation engine that allows you to autonomously execute these without actual user intervention. These can be created from the admin dropdown, then tasks. You set the name of the task, the type of the task, for example a discovery, the relevant item and schedule, and Open-AudIT will run this without the need of an operator at the computer having to execute it manually. Now that we have discovered some devices, let's go and see how these are displayed and can be managed by your organization. A list of these can be found by clicking on the Manage dropdown, then the Devices button. This provides us with a tabulated view of all known and discovered devices. Consider this to be the single source of truth for what's on the network. Depending on the device audit status, you are able to filter by operating system and device type, found on the left, and on the right panel out of the box by a plethora of options. Depending on your organizational requirements, you can add further columns to this view, found here. Having this view is important as it removes the overhead of managing multiple, potentially convoluted and confusing spreadsheets, which have the opportunity to become out of date and could even take too long to find something that Open-AudIT can find simply and faster. Viewing a device is as simple as clicking on this icon, and you're immediately presented with items to summarize the device. Depending on the audit results and the type of device discovered, this extends further with hardware, software, and settings information. As Open-AudIT is constantly and consistently scanning your networks for devices and keeping them up to date, this removes the extra overhead needed for auditing and keeping internal documentation up to date. It also removes the additional overhead of scanning a network manually and trying to find rogue or unknown devices, as these can all be discovered from within the same tool, Open-AudIT. Reporting is an important tool in any organization, and this is something that Open-AudIT shines in. Out of the box, Open-AudIT has a sizable number of reports available immediately as devices are discovered and information is provided. Found in the Report drop-down, Open-AudIT categorizes them into the following. These reports allow teams to have visibility across important aspects of an IT asset management platform within their organization, allowing them to also be proactive rather than reactive. Reporting matters not just for engineers, but also for other members and critical aspects of an organization. These reports are tailored for non-technical and technical individuals to consume and understand, and become especially important in items such as auditing. It is very easy to select one of these reports by hovering over the item of choice and then clicking on the direct item for immediate consumption and easy exporting. Reports can also be automated. An example of this is having a report run outside of standard business hours sent directly to the engineer or engineers to review amongst their daily checks when they first log on for the next business day. This can be done by pressing the Schedule Reports button at the bottom of this drop-down. That's a quick look at setting up Open-AudIT. From here, you can continue refining discoveries, alerts, and reports to suit your environment. For further guidance, check out the Open-AudIT documentation.